on to number 2. The number 1 game funding on the hot list right now on Kickstarter, Cascadia, by the guys that brought you Calico. Calico is the recent development and delivery game by this company. Who is this again? This is Flatout Games. This is a tile laying with tiles on tiles with cards. So it's a little bit of set collection. It's a little bit of tile configuration and manipulation. And so it's I mean, $8,000 goal, let's be honest, that was probably under. They probably could have gone with something that was actually higher, more as a true goal. But honestly, I think it looks great. Calico didn't get me the first time, and then with the recent deliveries, I've watched some of the reviews. You know, Dice Tower gave it a 7.5 out of 10. I think it was Z. But I mean, it's well thought of, and it's deceptively thinky, actually, in terms of what you're doing with matching the tiles and the cats and the buttons on top. So the patterns on the tiles below. And so people were, I think, a little surprised when it came out, and I think you had some people very positively surprised with that, and I think you had other people that were a little bit negatively surprised, and you're seeing a little bit of turnover. Now, just looking at this, the top, it's an eye-catching. I don't like the box cover, to be honest. I don't like the box cover art. I don't think the deer, I would have gone with a different animal, but that's my own personal preference. Otherwise, I think the colors are sharp, they stand out, and the price point. The price point is, someone commented on Reddit today when they posted it here that the price point was not what they thought it would be for the component quality. But I think you actually have some wood components in this. If I'm correct, I'll scroll down in a minute, but for 29 bucks for something like this, this is a retail price. Now, $9 shipping is what it's going to be, so it's going to cost you $38 if you're going to be backing on Kickstarter. But I don't know if Calico was in stores as well. I think just the base retail game was, and so I think it was about the same. And afterwards on Flatout Games' website, you could get Calico for the same Kickstarter price. So I guess that's the only question of whether or not you want to do that is in the month following delivery and distribution from the campaign is you could still get Calico with the Kickstarter for the exact same price. So that might be the only hesitation in backing this, is waiting that first month to see the reviews to make sure it's as good. That being said, I mean, this campaign page is pretty transparent. Again, I read the rule book. You're basically, it's really straightforward. It's Calico Part Deux, if you will. It scales the number of tiles that you're putting out, hexes and tokens. You're putting out scales to the players, so 2 to 4. You've got 2 to 3 scoring tiles for each of these 6 creatures that you can see. You've got, your eagle, your bear, your fox, your fish, your deer. And so each of them scores in different patterns, but then they've also said that, well, bears, maybe in this round you're going to pull, in this game you're going to pull the bears when they score, you have to have 2 in a row, but then one of the other scoring cards that you're going to pull out, you need 3 bears in a row. And so it's going to vary game to game in that sense, so there's a nice variability there. Like I said, I think it looks heavier than it actually is. This looks really pretty. It looks really light. I do not think it's that at all, because you're having to match the little chits on top with the location of where they can actually go, but then you're having to group them together as well. So I think it's really something that's going to be a little bit burnier than your average tile laying game in that sense. Now, I think there's 2 other things that I want to mention about this, is that they've already known that it's going to be a little heavier. So in the rules, they actually already have a couple variants. One is a solo variant. So all you solo guys looking for another game at a cheap price, if this is up your alley, it's already included. So it's not just something tacked on at the end. They've also got a family variant, which is addressing the point that I just said, is they're aware that this is going to be too thinky for kids. So they've already got a family variant in there. So you can introduce it to your kids who may be looking at this and going, animals, tiles, ooh, I like this, a couple cards, nice pictures. Boom, there you go. The last point I want to make on this really quickly is up at the top here. I skipped over it, or maybe it's down further. Either way, the point I want to make is that, and the other reason I would probably back this is because they mentioned somewhere in here, you can scroll and see, yeah, see, here we go, deluxe wooden wildlife tokens. So for wood tokens, 29 bucks is a pretty good deal, I think. I'm not sure what they're doing. You're getting free promo cards. I'm not sure what they're doing for stretch goals. I didn't see anything this morning when I glanced. Maybe they are now. Maybe they're not. Either way, it's a good price. You're getting promos at a reduced cost. You're getting it at the Kickstarter value. So they've got a bunch of videos here. There's the rule book. Boom. they said for every game that they sell, they're giving a game to Toys for Tots. And Toys for Tots, it's having kids of my own and realizing and being able to experience that joy of playing with kids and the joy that they get out of figuring things out and winning, or even just playing, the pure expressions that come on their face is not reproducible to me in with some other mediums. And so the fact that they're doing something like that makes me want to support a company like this all the more. And so for me, that really hits home. If it hits home for you, it's another thing to be aware of, and it's something to take a look at from that side of things. But you're basically, each turn you're basically grabbing a tile and a matched chit, and then just allocating them to your pile, and then rinse and repeat. So it's not super complex, but where you're going to put them, how you're going to put them, you don't have to put them together. It's just something to be aware of. So take a look at it. I was very, like I said at the beginning of the video, I was very pleasantly surprised at this, especially after I read the rules and I looked at the art. So I was very happy about that.